We are back on Get Up, and to get to the Cowboys, and a quote from Jerry Jones that is getting a lot of response, not only from fans, but also from his quarterback. Earlier this week, Jerry Jones admitted that he has been very busy with his natural gas business and his interests there, too busy to spend time trying to fix his team's sputtering defense. This is an interview he did with the Wall Street Journal. He said, there's $100 billion in present value with natural gas out there. That's why I'm talking to you on the telephone rather than trying to fix our defense with the Dallas Cowboys. Dak Prescott was asked about that yesterday.
Right, you read the comment, and being honest with you, I don't know the full context of it. I do know that a piece of it, and but being a fan and you just read that or hear that, yeah, of course, especially right as many fans are and do, and thankful that they do live and breathe by this team. Yeah, that can definitely be frustrating, but in that sense, I would just say, like, the guy's never really lied about who he is or what he's trying to do, and I think right there is just, I mean, hopefully he was talking about in that one particular moment, you know, maybe in those 5 minutes, this is what he was alluding to, and having a chance at a $100 billion opportunity. I think you might take 5 minutes as well and go answer a call. So hopefully that's what he means, right? And but I can see I can be frustrating. Once again, for us as players, we can control.
I know that Dak bite was long, but we felt important that we played the entire thing for you so you had the full context, so it cannot in any way seem as though, and we would never have wanted to take anything he said out of context. I wanted Mike Tannenbaum, our general manager, in this conversation because now he's talking about 5 minutes. I don't know much about making $100 billion, but I have a feeling you don't do that in 5 minutes. So Jerry Jones, if this was Woody Johnson or Robert Kraft or any of the other owners in the NFL, you'd say, oh, great, go make your $100 billion. But Jerry Jones is also the general manager of that team. So can you describe to us, the trade deadline is next Tuesday. What is this week like for Howie Roseman? What is this week like for Darryl Muji? What is this week like for the guys who do that job?
For every trade you make, you're probably making 20, 30, 40 phone calls in terms of seeing what else is out there, what's available, what do you have, surplus and needs. Like, you are scouring because after Tuesday at 4 o'clock, that is your last best chance to help your team for this season. Of course, there's free agents and practice squad guys, but it's really your last meaningful chance. And to be candid, a lot of GMs are seeing that footage and they're saying, I'm glad I'm competing against Jerry Jones because this is 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. And yeah, I'd love to make $100 billion as well, but we want to compete against people that are not all in. I'm not saying he's not all in financially, but your heart and soul has to be in it every single day.
That's the point I would make, and I'd be curious to hear from the players here because, you know, yes, he's a businessman. He should do business. We all saw Landman. That's awesome. I'm delighted for him that he found this opportunity, made all of this money. But the point is that if you're going to be the general manager of a football team, that has to take up your every breath, your every waking thought, every ounce of energy, all of your blood and your sweat and your tears, all the time. It is a full-time job. And whether he was just trying to be cheeky or not, that is a terrible thing, in my opinion, for him to say to the fans of the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, from a former player's perspective, you expect your general manager and your owner to be all in every capacity.
Right.
And your job as a general manager is to exhaust every possibility to make your football team better. So I don't know why Jerry thought it was a great idea to just state that out loud. Like, if you do feel that way, you can keep it to yourself. You don't have to tell it to everyone. Maybe Jerry knows we're going to talk about it.
I don't know.
I don't get it.
I get it. 2025. Look at Instagram. Look anywhere. Capitalism. Who's got the most money? Who's got the most crap? Who's got the most stuff? I'm going to show you everything that I got. This is Jerry being Jerry, and a lot of people are going to celebrate this and say, oh, $100 billion. That's awesome. To your point, Howie Roseman's on a bye week right now, should be somewhere in Puerto Rico or Mexico. He's dealing for Michael Carter and a 7th-round pick and John Mechie. He doesn't sleep. This is what he's thinking about.
Right.
Jerry right now is saying what everyone wants to hear because money is everything. But the truth is, if you're a Cowboys fan, you're like, can't we talk about getting a backup tackle or a defensive lineman?
It's not just one position on defense. It's the defensive line.
Right.
It's the linebacker area. It's the secondary. You need players at all 3 levels. So you should be making calls about
I'd say a lot of people are looking at me like Jerry's a baller.
Well,
He makes $100 billion.
But probably not the guys in his locker room.
Maybe.
Right?
I don't even know.
Look at the juxtaposition of Brian Schottenheimer this week. You can take our offensive stats and you can shove them you know where. And Jerry Jones, I just made $100 billion. I mean, those are the two big quotes from the two people, the most important people running the Dallas Cowboys.
They have a new practice facility coming. That's good for everybody.
Back to the team.
But I mean, Jerry Jones is showing you how the sausage is made, right? So to speak. Like, usually people don't show you that pause, right? Usually people don't show you that and talk about the details of the business side of how you operate and support your team. But that doesn't mean that he hasn't been on the phones even before this week was done about how do I trade for Trey Henderson? How do I get this player? How do I acquire that player? And it's footprints, right? And sometimes I'm sure you had assistant general managers that came out and helped you alongside to make some decisions while you went and took a phone call somewhere else.
Yeah, but Bart, hold on a second. I go back to what Harry said, and we had a sign that said, every rock, every day. We were going to be systematically more relentless than anybody else. And everything changes every week. Like, it's reported that Andy Dalton broke a thumb. So now, like, does Carolina maybe need a quarterback? Like, every single day there could be an opportunity either to make your team better or maybe it's a draft choice to trade somebody. So, again, when other GMs see that quote, I am telling you, they're saying, I'm glad I'm competing against Dallas.
And not only that, Bart, you're probably right. Obviously, we can do 10 things at one time. I get that part of it. But don't say that in an interview. It's not funny.
That was my point. Why are you saying this out loud?
Because it's Jerry, guys.
It's like what DMX said. When somebody showed you who they are, believe it.
Yeah.
Jerry has always showed us exactly. It's about the dollar bill, y'all. He has the most valuable franchise in North America, right? He does that because he's all about showing you what I got. He showed you about his yacht. That's how you get the attention, man. It's all good.
And those owners, there's 31 of them, and they all are into their crap and their money, and who's got the biggest yacht. You think it's sick and gross. It is what it is. These guys have a lot of money. And he's just saying in an interview with the Wall Street Journal, I understand your point, though, and I'm validating it. I think there are 31 other GMs who are hammering the phones right now, and maybe Jerry's not.
But he's been around long enough. Don't think you can just pull one over the old guy. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't know what he don't know.
I'm not sure he knows what he doesn't know. I mean, they haven't won a damn thing in 30 years.
That's my point exactly. Like,
he's made a lot of money. I mean, I hear what you're saying, and I want to make it clear. I'm not offended by him making the money. I'm offended by him being the general manager of the football team and spending his time on making the money.
And a guy like Trey Hendrickson, he may or may not be available, but God forbid that, you know, they're talking to Buffalo, right? And they go back to Dallas one more time. Dallas doesn't pick up the phone and Cincinnati makes the deal.
I'm just picturing this. What's this, Brandon Bean? No, I don't have time. Brandon, I'm going to have to call you back. How's next Wednesday?
Natural gas!
Meanwhile, speaking of Allen, yesterday, Dan Orlovsky was here and said this about the reigning MVP.
It's a must-win for Buffalo, and I go back to why last season ended the way it did. If you go to this matchup at home in Buffalo, Josh Allen has that